Hello everyone, welcome to our show Creative World. I'm your host Shin Matsuba. We'll be introducing some amazing talented people, chatting with them in a one-on-one interview, hearing their stories, picking their brains, looking through the kaleidoscope of Creative World. Live painting with Japanese Butoh dance. Today's guest is a very talented artist who specializes in artwork for exhibition and live performances by combining live painting with Japanese Butoh dance. In 2012, she began exhibiting works in major cities in Japan and overseas. In 2016, she studied Butoh dance at the world-renowned Butoh dance studio in Yokohama. As an artist, she explores the body from the perspective of anatomy and visualizes her performances and body movements as two-dimensional works and video. She's a great multimedia artist. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ibuki Kuramochi. Hello, Ibuki, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So first of all, what initially caused you to want to become an artist?
The first time I felt incredibly moved by art was when I was 12 years old and I went to Yakushiji Temple in Nara, Japan with my family. I saw and was deeply impressed with Silk Road murals made by the famous Japanese painter Ikuo Hirayama. At the moment, I traveled the Silk Road through his paintings and I could feel Hirayama's powerful soul and strong spirit. The entire temple room was made up of huge murals depicting Hirayama's own journey on the Silk Road. The huge land and mountains of the Silk Road rose from the ground to the ceiling. I still remember being surrounded by the Silk Road space as if the entire room was connected to the universe. At the same time, I had a big dream that I would someday become a great artist who would make powerful art like Hirayama.
I see. Is there any particular theme that you follow when creating your work?
I create artworks in various forms such as paintings, digital works, video works, and performances. Based on the body, I create artworks while mixing the disciplines such as philosophy and anatomy as inspiration. Also, since I started the dance called Butoh, I became very interested in the body. I realized it is made up of brain, cells, bones, blood, muscles, etc. I tried to incorporate all of these elements in my artwork while improvising body movements. Since 2020, it has been difficult to have personal contacts, and that is reflected in my work. I produce digital works. When our consciousness is condensed into the online world, we feel as if we have forgotten our body. While traveling in the digital world, I create works with the theme of confronting my own body and philosophy. In addition, the pursuit of Eastern thought and culture also exists as a theme for my artistic research.
So, as you just mentioned a bit, your performances combine Butoh dance with live paintings. How did this initially come about?
Originally, I was doing live painting as a performance. I collaborated with various instruments like shamisen, classic guitar, contrabass, Japanese koto, and Japanese drums. Also, I collaborated with theatrical plays and performed at the Japan Expo in Paris, which is the largest of its kind in the world outside of Japan. Also, I collaborated with the famous Bashe sound sculpture at the Rome Theater in Kyoto, Japan. Little by little, I began to incorporate more elements of beauty and movement into my work. Usually, when people do live painting, their back is turned to the audience, so it tends to be visually monotonous. When I was introduced to a Butoh class, I was taught performing by using your back. Butoh is a dance form using body expression. It was created by Tatsumi Hijikata and Kazuo Ono in the 50s, and I still remember being very fascinated by it. The poetic and the pictorial movement, in which words such as anger and the trembling of the soul apply, is a movement different from ordinary dance, and the body and mind are remarkably expressed. Since my study of Butoh, I started to perform with a combination of Butoh and live painting. Painting and Butoh are very connected, and I think that constructing a dance and the composition of a painting are very connected. Since I started Butoh painting performance, I performed in Taiwan, Paris, and many various galleries in Los Angeles.
Where do you get your inspiration?
I love philosophy, anatomy, and science fiction movies. I'm from a generation that grew up with Japanese 90s anime, so I think I'm very much influenced by that anime culture. I often make a diary of my daily awareness and incorporate it as the essence of my productions. On the internet, I can get as much information as I want to. However, just getting information does not lead to an artwork. So the basis is how it can be intertwined with actual experience and awareness through the body. It is important to keep up with philosophical thinking even while staying at home. During my daily activities, I'm always aware of the possibilities to connect the ordinary things to my art projects.
So, what differences do you see between the American and Japanese art scenes?
First of all, the United States is a multi-ethnic nation. It is made up of people with different religions and cultures. So it is extremely diverse compared to a single ethnic nation like Japan. This diversity is a very key part of the art scene. I myself came to LA and re-studied various things such as religion, philosophy, politics, and journalism, including cultural differences. When I moved to LA in the beginning of 2019, I immediately could feel the cultural differences every day. In the Japanese art scene, I often felt works based on the Japanese view of religion. There are views on life and death in Buddhism and Shinto nature worship. Works that include pop culture such as anime may also have such a Japanese religious view. Japan is a country with many natural disasters, but I feel that we Japanese have cultivated a strong animist idea towards nature. I think that the differences in ideas, religions, and nations will not change. But I believe that artists are the ones who fascinate people in a world that transcends these differences. I would like to jump over differences in countries, races, and genders, also bridge the world where people can connect with each other.
That is truly amazing. So, what are you primarily interested in now?
Producing performance works in the form of video art rather than live performances. Video productions can be shared online 24 hours a day, regardless of location. I'm making video works that focus on the daily conflicts and the inner gaze that arise from that. Recently, I made an 18-minute short performance film. What I'm interested in now is the production of performance films that combine performance art and film. The characters are only myself, but the composition is divided into 3 parts. I exhibited this performance film at an outdoor exhibition called High Beams recently. High Beams is a drive-through outdoor exhibition that is unique to LA Scout Society. Also, I'm exhibiting at various online exhibitions and perform at online performance shows. One of these is Christine Shoemaker's Shoebox Pier, which is a Los Angeles-based art organization. I'm participating in the Call and Response Project, which is an online art exhibition project which partners randomly selected artists to form a two-person team to collaborate for 2 weeks.
I see. So what are you currently producing?
Currently, it is very difficult to hold gallery opening parties and performances. However, during this time, I've been cultivating my experiences and inspirations for future projects. I want to make more performance movies, and I also want to do a solo exhibition. Also considering 5 years from now, digital culture will grow greatly. I would like to take a deeper look at the human body along with digital. I want to move forward and keep developing as an artist.
Well, that's great. So what do you feel is most important to succeed internationally?
I myself am able to work in the United States in this way, thanks to the support of everyone around me. For example, I am very grateful to my manager, Katz Kawazoe of Katz Talent Services, for believing me and for her support. 2019 was the first year I moved to LA. I was honored to be selected by LA Weekly as Artist of the Year. They featured my story and photos. I was also featured on the front cover. It is important for artists to continue to research and create with a passion for their works and productions. But at the same time, artists should connect with the community and support each other. It is very important to not forget the feelings of gratitude and mutual help. Moving here makes me realize every day that I can't live on my own. I am very grateful that I am in this creative world now. What I want to do and dedicate myself to is my mission to make my tomorrow without forgetting my gratitude.
So one last question. The title of the show is Creative World. So what does the word creative mean to you? What is your own interpretation for the word creative?
Creativity is the body. I feel that all creative activities, such as making paintings, writing songs, dancing, and singing, all comes from our body. Creativity comes when the body moves and both the right and left sides of the brain are used. We humans are born with a human body. For example, a chef has a chef's body, a politician has a politician's body, a composer has a composer's body, a gardener has a gardener's body, and so on. I think that I am fulfilling my mission by making full use of my body. I want to use up my body as an artist to the fullest in this world.
Thank you, Ibuki. That was such a pleasure to have you on our show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
And now, Ibuki has a very unique and artistic video clip. Enjoy, y'all!
Aichi Shibori and Gourmet. Aichi is full of traditional crafts and unique regional cuisine. Shibori is a resist-dye method. This noodle and soup is an Aichi specialty, made of dashi stock flavored with locally produced red hacho miso. This is another noodle dish. It has a light taste and has a unique shape that is flatter and whiter. There are many other regional delicacies. See you in Aichi!